Hey everyone, welcome back. You are listening to 한국어천재 on TBS EFM 101.3. You're hanging out with me, Kayla, and it is officially Friday, everybody. You know what that means. It is time for fashion talk. But as we know, I know nothing about fashion. I wear black every single day. And so therefore, I bring in the fashion expert here, Suyeon. Hi, Suyeon.
Hello.
It's so good to see you again. You're looking very fashionable.
Oh, thank you. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday for you. TGIF, everybody here. Or as we say in Korean, you know, we say 불금. And it's Fire Friday here.
Spending our 불금 here.
Yep. There's no better way to spend my Friday evening than with you guys. I mean that sincerely. So
this is true.
We had such a good time last week.
We did.
I was blushing half of it because we talked about a subject I was a little embarrassed about. I don't like talking about swimsuits because I'm shy. I'm a shy girl. But we did cover a lot of stuff then.
We did, definitely.
What were some of the things we talked about last week?
Well, mainly women's swimsuits and the different styles. The most common one, I guess, it would be one piece.
Yes, we had this whole thing about the one piece versus the monokini. There was like a whole debate about that. What would we separate those out for people?
If you have if it says one piece, obviously it would be a one piece. Mm-hmm. But if you have holes around the body part, around your belly or the sides or the back, then it's a monokini.
Do you know what's funny is the very next day I had a filming that I went to, and one of the actors that I worked with, he was listening to the program.
Oh, really?
And he was just like, I didn't know there was a difference between a monokini and a one piece. And I'm like, neither did I. And I'm supposed to be the one wearing them. So it was really fun to hear that he was listening. But he was like, I am shocked about women's fashion. So it was really sweet. But
it is pretty complicated.
I feel like it's good. And hopefully he's listening in now, because today we're actually going to kind of get into some stuff that might help our boys, our male listeners here, the namjas and whatnot. We're covering guy swimsuits, right?
Guy swimsuits, yes. It's a lot more simple, definitely, than women.
For sure. But
not as simple as I thought, actually.
Yeah, this actually surprised me. Okay, so start us off. What do we have here?
Well, the basic 삼각.
Yes,
the briefs.
The briefs, because 삼각, as you guys might be able to visualize, is a triangle. It's a triangle. So visualize. No, don't actually. Don't visualize. Just know it's a triangle on your body. That is it.
So let's not visualize. No.
So we've got the samgak, and then which you probably hear samgak a lot when we talk about samgak kimbap. That's probably where I hear samgak the most.
Yes.
So yeah, you might know it from that. Well, they're kimbap pants. So we've got the samgak, and then what else do we have?
Well, next would be 사각.
So the four side like a square.
Well, they're basically square legs, and they come in two lengths. Mm-hmm. And we talked about the 부 when we talked about pants, but this time it's 3부 and 5부.
Ooh, so we're in thigh territory now.
We're very short.
We're a little high up there, showing some skin up there. My goodness.
And these 사각s are very tight, like leggings, and they're usually worn by professional swimmers, and sometimes they're actually worn long too, but generally around the legs.
So the really tight ones.
Yeah,
like
leggings.
Grabbing it and just yes. Now, for those of you who are new listeners, when we talked about the poos, what were the poos again for our new listeners?
Right. Well, you imagine your leg as a 10.
Yeah.
And the top is the 1 or 0, I guess. Mm-hmm. And your foot is a 10.
Okay.
So around the ankles would be 9부. Mm-hmm. And a little higher, like a cropped pants, would be 7부 or 8부. Mm-hmm. And around the knees would be 5부. 5부.
Which we have here. We have the 사각 5부.
Right above the knees would be 5부. And then 3부 would be somewhere mid-thigh.
Oh boy, that's some skin showing off there, boys. Wow. So yeah, we actually, I'd say, when I was thinking about these here, it's really in English, just a lot of what the professional swimmers often wear.
Right.
I actually reached out to my older brother and my younger brother, and I needed to get their input because I've never bought swim shorts for a dude. So I was just like, hey, what goes into this when you go shop? Yeah,
right.
What do you? And he's just like, absolutely not. I wear.
Is that into briefs?
No, he is not into that at all. He talked about this next one here, which I think most of our listeners will kind of be able to connect with.
Definitely, I think so too. The next one would be trunks. 트렁크.
Trunk. Everybody, that is so easy. This is the joy of fashion is a lot of it's just English.
Yes.
So trunk is for the
Swim trunks or swim shorts.
Exactly. And so here's the thing. I had been confused. When I talk 우리 남자친구, oh my god, 남동생이랑 같이 얘기했을 때, so when I was talking with my little brother, he said he wears board shorts.
The longer ones.
Yes.
Right.
Not swim trunks. And I was like, what is the difference? I don't know what that means. And he was just like, so apparently swim trunks are kind of usually the
Mid-thigh,
sambus.
right, 삼부.
And then the obu is more of the board
Board
shorts.
trunks, yeah.
But they're all trunk in
They're loose.
Korean.
Right, they're all 트렁크.
Oh, okay. So if you wanted to describe like a 삼부 trunk, would you say 삼부 trunk or what?
Just 트렁크.
Just trunk?
Would be the 삼부, and I guess the longer ones, they would actually probably say 보드.
보드 쇼트 or 보드. That's so much easier. See, this is why if you guys are ever shopping with, a brother or family member or a boyfriend and you needed to go find this, well, there you go. It's pretty much English for you. So that's easy peasy. But I noticed that like the patterns have really changed lately too.
Definitely. Well, for the briefs and the tighter swimsuits, they're usually like a simple color, like one single color, 단색, or with maybe like sport stripes or something. But the trunks, that gets really fancy.
Yeah, I have seen some impressive works of art.
Definitely. And you know how men don't really get a chance to be fancy? They only have the ties or the socks, but they can really go crazy with the trunks.
Can you imagine there's just like the Sistine Chapel on their board shorts? They're just like, yes, representing,
Anything, definitely. And if you can never wear florals, you can wear floral swim trunks.
That's true. I feel like guys get much more confident with their swimsuit options, I feel like.
Definitely. And very, very wild and crazy and very colorful. Anything goes, really.
Yeah, what is the weirdest, or not weirdest, I should say, the craziest, most out there thing you've ever seen on a pair of swim gear?
I wish I could forget the image, but my parents lived in Greece when I was in college, so I was going to Greek beaches when I was in college. And, the beaches in Greece or Italy, they're a lot more liberal.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've seen 호피무늬 briefs on elderly men. It's not a picture I want to keep for years and years, but it's hard to erase.
Yeah, so for our new listeners, the 호피무늬, when we talked about 무늬, is a type of pattern, and the 호피 here is talking about those
leopard prints.
Yes. So picture like the cheetahs and the leopards and all the spots on here.
On briefs.
On a nice little triangle. Out on a wonderful man in Greece. That's a vacation right there.
Pretty wild.
I have seen, I think the I don't even know if it's like the funniest. It's just the thing that made me stop and stare was I was walking, I forget where it was. Was it when I lived in Russia? Perhaps. It was somewhere when I was in Europe. And so anyway, I had been near a beach and I can't say the name of the brand, but they had an entire board shorts covered in chips. Like a certain brand of chips. And I was just staring. And first it was the material was made of this shiny material.
Like the
So
bag?
I honestly thought he made it from the bag for 1 second. I thought he just took a bunch of bags and taped them together and was like, here are my board shorts.
That's pretty cute.
And I was like, I don't know where to look right now.
I'm sure there's a series of food, like French fries and the whole thing.
Probably, I'm sure. You guys should tell us if you have seen any crazy swimsuits, swim trunks, board shorts, the craziest thing you've seen, let me know. I want to hear about it. I always love hearing these stories. But, it's really funny because men's fashion in terms of swimwear even has kind of had some weird ups and downs throughout the ages.
Well, swimsuits in general was originally made of wool.
Ew. Oh. Oh, just
You can
imagining
almost
that.
smell the wet wool.
Oh, can you imagine like this sopping wet suit as you like go through the water? Oh gosh, that's miserable.
I know, but it was actually chosen because wool has a little more stretch than cotton. And also it is absorbent, but it's not as absorbent as cotton. It does have some wicking power. But, once it gets wet, you know how wet and heavy and horrible it gets. But yeah, it was made of wool. I don't think it was really made for swimming.
No.
Just sort of standing in water.
Yeah, never. Why would you? Oh, no. So can you just imagine family vacations? You just stand in the water. Kids, we can't swim. We got wool on.
Can't get wet.
We can definitely stand here and enjoy the coolness of this temperature. But that's why a lot of those clothes, I want to say clothes, because I don't know if some of our listeners know this, but swimsuits, there used to be some full on, like, I want to say a full on one piece short tank top combination
Right,
thing.
for men, from babies all the way to grandpas, they wore the same shape, like the tank top and shorts, like together.
Yeah,
like a big long one piece.
Like what is it? Like it's like a romper, but for men.
Right. It's like a romper.
A romp.
And it would be more
Romp him.
loose.
It's a romp him. not a romp her, a romp him. I made it. That's a thing now, guys. I've stamped it. Kayla approval. But yeah, that's what it's like.
And younger men wore them a little tighter to show off their bods.
Yeah, there's a picture here. I don't know if I could even show this on the radio if I wanted to, but there is some tight briefs in front of my eyeballs
Yes,
now.
and you know that Lycra wasn't invented back then, so it's just really basically underwear.
Wow, and that is just, well, people were very confident then to go on out. They really wanted to enjoy some time off. We actually got some messages in here. Cloud says, the craziest thing I've seen is my friends, boys, not wearing anything at all during one night swimming. The scandal. Oh my goodness.
These aren't like babies.
No,
I'm assuming.
they are not babies. They went skinny dipping. That's what we call that in English. That is skinny dipping.
Skinny dipping.
Oh my goodness, you guys, that's crazy. Pat R here says, someone was wearing hot dogs printed on his trunks, I think. Can you just
I
imagine?
think I've seen something like that too.
Just like a bunch of like little hot dogs all over, little Vienna sausages all over. I wouldn't know where to look. When I see these crazy patterns, I'm always either I just stare openly where I'm like, what? Where did they go? Or I do the exact opposite and I'm like, oh my gosh, like just look anywhere else. It's so funny. Please keep sending me more. If you guys have pictures too, oh my goodness, send me those. I want to hear about it. But when you go to the beach, like kind of going off of this, you can get uncomfortable sometimes with the amount of skin that's on display. I don't know why, but since moving to Korea, I have been very much into cover-ups. I've become very into cover-up fashion. I love all the different styles and things that you can get, and it's kind of become a fashion trend in itself.
Definitely, yes. And in Korea, we don't really go, I don't want to say like sleeveless too much. We usually put something on even in the dead of summer.
Yeah.
So definitely at a pool,
Yeah.
you need cover-ups. But it's like the basic boxy top and shorts. That's pretty basic, not very like interesting.
Yeah.
But robes are really fashionable these days.
Yes, I see
Light
these.
cotton or linen robes, colorful, patterned,
Beautiful.
very, very pretty.
I love seeing these. And some of them lately, there was one that I've been seeing. It was like, what do I want to say? Kind of like a crochet. Like it reminds me of, if you guys know macrame, it kind of looks like these yarn knotted.
Sort of loosely woven.
Yeah.
Knotted.
And there was
Probably
just,
crochet.
oh, it was beautiful. And it was just this kind of white crocheted throw on cover up here. And I was like, I need to have that in every color. It's gorgeous.
Very retro, like from the 70s.
I love it. And so if we wanted to talk about cover-ups, how would we be able to refer to these? I'm guessing it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
Love it. What is it?
Cover up.
You're joking here. Cover up. Don't know if you guys caught that there. That's a tough one.
That's tough, huh? It's
Cover
hard to
up.
remember.
And again, the same thing. I think from what I remember, boxy t-shirts are just boxy 셔츠?
박씨 티셔츠.
T-shirt. Easy. This is the thing, you guys. If you're not sure, just say it. The English word with a Korean accent,
Right.
9 times out of 10, you're probably going to be right. Like
We'll get it.
there's
Yeah,
a good
definitely.
chance there.
Especially with fashion.
Oh, yeah. For you, what do you prefer when you go to the beach?
I like robes.
Yeah.
But I also like those big scarves that you tie around. Like there are 20 different ways you can tie it around. You can make it into a dress or a skirt. I like those.
I love those too. And the same with I was always a big fan of the sarongs as well, where it was just kind of around your waist here, because I'm very pale and I would like to
all the sun you can
I
get.
need to just be 1 degree darker than this if possible, so people can see me. I blend in with the background of this right now. So for me, I try to get a little more skin out here to soak up the sun, and then just wear a nice little sarong and walk around the beach. And that's the joy of like when you're traveling, is there's all these different customs and traditions you have to kind of match with. And here in Korea, I feel like when it comes to swimwear, it can certainly err more on the cover-up side more than we err on the skin showy side. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially when, as we mentioned last week, when you go to water parks, there are certain things that you definitely need at water parks as well. The first one was you definitely need a hat, right?
Need a hat.
Need the hats. It doesn't have to be the skin, like, tight ones. It could just be a baseball hat sometimes.
Right, these days.
But even things like rash
Guards.
Yeah, all these
Covers you up
things.
all like a scuba diver. Basically.
Exactly. You just kind of just go on in there. I don't know if I told you, I did an underwater filming. I had a shoot that I was doing underwater, and it was funny because I was the only person not wearing any of these things that we've just mentioned. Everyone else was in their, their 사각오부, and they had their like rash guards, and they had their 오리발, and they had all their stuff, and then there was just me because I was the one modeling at it. And so it was funny because I'm going through the list in my head. I'm like, oh, Suyeon taught me that. Suyeon taught me this. She taught me this
wearing
too.
that.
They have all the things here. So it's actually really useful to know these terms if you want to even do water sports, I'd say.
Right. Or if you need to rent, because a lot of the water parks rent all the equipment. If you don't
Definitely.
have anything,
Yeah.
So you should know if you need 물안경 or
The 물안경, those are the goggles, everyone. If you can't tell from water glasses, that's the goggles here. Now, we do have some more comments that came in. Becca says, nobody wears cover-ups here unless it is a boy wearing a swim shirt. Well, I know some places around the
tropical
world.
places, definitely.
Yeah, definitely don't wear them a lot. OTT says, I saw in the swimming pool, there's someone who keep her long shirt. I think that's so heavy. I would say I've
In
seen
the
that
pool.
in the pool. Yeah, just wearing like a long t-shirt. That would get heavy, wouldn't it?
that would get heavy, and also it usually floats when you get in.
Yeah.
And then when you get out, it all sticks. So it's not really flattering either. It's better to just wear a rash guard.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think if anyone has access to it, rash guard will be the comfiest thing. It's like you're wearing leggings in
Yeah,
the pool. It's
right.
great. Ernie here says there are actually crocheted
yes, actually I've seen
bikinis.
them in magazines. No, in magazines.
Oh my gosh, you got me. I was like, Suyeon. Oh my goodness, tea.
Should I crochet one for you?
You guys, Suyeon is an amazing crocheter. That should be the challenge. We should say next week she needs to crochet something, not a bikini. No,
Not
thank
a
you.
bikini? No.
Not a bikini. I would never walk outside. But oh my goodness, I can't even imagine. That has to be like a just very.
It's also probably not actually for swimming, right?
I've learned this. This is something I have learned, everyone. There are some swimsuits that are meant for sports, some swimsuits that are meant for quote unquote swimming, and some swimsuits that are not meant to go in the pool at all. And
Just lounging.
I accidentally bought the third one, and it was like tissue paper. It just dissolved in the pool. And I was like,
You can't get out.
yeah, I just was like, we have an emergent. Thankfully, it was a private pool, but like, I was like, everyone, we have an emergency. Please find me another suit. Thank you.
Well, yeah, so with all the different kinds, the TPO is really important. What you're actually going to do and where you're going to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. And before we go, I feel like the one other thing I really want to cover here is the last accessories you need before you go. Yes. What are those?
Sunglasses.
Exactly. Everybody, if you don't have sunglasses, how can you be outside in the pole?
I know. Actually, you need them all year round these days.
Very true. So, like, what is the hot thing these years with sunglasses?
Well, retro 복고풍 styles.
Oh, I love those here. I also see that, like, cat eye.
Cat eye, definitely. That's very, very popular these days.
Yeah, I'm actually curious. What kind of sunglass styles are popular by you guys? Right here, we were talking about how these retro, because of that neutro, is kind of like very in here.
Yes.
But like, let us know what's kind of going on in your place. I'd love to know what's the hot accessories in other places in the world here. But like, I also heard there was some other things like the chains are coming back.
Like the grandma eyeglass chains. I know.
So
have you seen them? I've actually seen them on a guy too.
No way. Are you
just
kidding?
with glasses? Or were they sunglasses?
You guys know what we're talking about? Those chains that connect. It's like a necklace. So
you don't, when you take them off, you don't lose them.
Yeah, I mean, it really is quite useful sounding.
It's very useful.
It's just,
but you never see them on anybody younger than grandmas.
Exactly. Like when I was in school, I remember the biggest trend were these giant glasses, like the bug-eyed glasses. And
were they dark?
Very dark.
Very dark.
Very dark.
Like, so
oh my goodness, I looked like a ladybug. And and then the chains were so out of fashion because only
right.
Yeah.
But suddenly now it's very fashionable for the chains in all different like sizes, big chains like necklaces or beads, pearls.
Everyone, this is why we have Soo-yeon here. It's where you guys get the hottest fashion tips and tricks. It's all from her.
Something
and thanks
to try
her.
this summer.
Oh, definitely. Send us any pictures if you guys do end up trying any of these fashion tips. And thank you, Soo-yeon, for being here as always.
Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure. And thank you guys for joining us as well. I always have such a good time with you. But unfortunately, that is all the time we have for today. 네, 오늘 한국어 천재 여기까지입니다.